Hey there, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really groovy Neurohop drum pattern as requested by somebody on Twitter and by somebody on YouTube. Now we're going to be using some heavy drums and it's probably going to sound something like this. So without further ado, I hope you're ready. Let's dive into Ableton. So here we are inside Ableton Live. This is Ableton Live 10 and I've selected a bunch of drum samples that we are going to use to create a swinging Neurohop groove. Now I'm at a tempo of 100 beats per minute, but you can do a lot of different tempos for Neurohop. 140 can work, but you can also go down to like 90 beats per minute or maybe even something faster than 140. You can do a lot of things and it's more like the patterns that really make this genre. So I'm going to show you today how you can create something like that. I've selected these samples, so I'm gonna play them right now. So you can hear we have one main kick and one main snare, then we have a couple of different hi-hat samples, a few percussion samples, then we have one drum fill, which we'll probably be able to use, and then we have a ride and a crash. So I've set up a bunch of tracks here so that I can easily get started. Now, let's start with the main kick and snare. I'm gonna put those on their two tracks. I'm gonna bypass the track with the samples, and let's give the snare, the main kick and snare, their the right color. I'm going to loop this section, and let's zoom in a bit, and let's get started writing a pattern. The first thing I would do is probably put the snare drum on every other beat. Like so. So that's a good starting point. Now, to get a swinging groove, there's a couple of ways how you can do it. You can, especially with Neurohop, you can move away from the grid. Now that is something we could do. Like normally you would most likely do something like this. And that kind of works. It's not really bad. It kind of just works fine. But it's not really swinging, right? So you could move it away from the grid. You know, just select it, click it, and then hold Alt so that you can move it around freely. And you can offset it a little bit, and that'll probably make it sound a little bit more swinging. See, but it's still a little bit weird, and it sounds a little bit wonky, so how do you get that really nice swinging sound without having to deal with all these off-grid notes? Now what you want to do is you want to switch over to a triplet grid. So if you right-click somewhere in the playlist, and then just click on triplet grid right here, and you can see Ctrl+3 will also switch over to the triplet grid. Now that will make sure that every beat is now divided into 6 subdivisions, or if we zoom out, it'll be 3. Now, you kind of like want to see 6 subdivisions in every beat. So, if I switch this to 1/16, I think that'll just do it. Yeah. So, go to triplet grid and switch this to 1/16, and you will have the grid lines that you need. So now we've got the triplet grid, and what you want to do is I can actually demonstrate this with one of the hi-hats. So let's put a hi-hat on the track here, and let's give it the green color. Now normally when you use 1/16 notes, so let me go back to the normal grid. When you use 1/16 notes, you're gonna get something like this, right? So you'll get something like, that's just a regular 1/16 note pattern. Now let's switch to that triplet grid and let's start moving these notes around so that we're not working in a 1/16 note pattern. Now I'm still going to be using exactly the same amount of notes, but I'm going to do it slightly different. So I'm going to move this one over to the 3rd grid line, and let's make it a bit shorter. And now if I copy this one over here and do this, I'm still using 4 hi-hats in one beat, just like I'm doing here. I've just offset them a little bit, and I'm using those new grid lines. So if I select this, you can actually see the grid lines a bit better. You can see those grid lines, and you can see that I'm lining them up with these grid lines. I'm just skipping this particular block right here. That's just the one I'm not using. And if I now duplicate that, you can really hear the difference. So let's duplicate the kick pattern as well. And if I now play this, you'll definitely be able to hear the difference in the groove between the first half and the second half. So you can hear that the second half sounds a lot more groovy, but it's still nothing special yet. So I'm going to move all the way down again, and I'm going to take that hi-hat and I'm going to try and arrange something now. So let's see, maybe if we do them on the offbeat, that would be nice. See, that already sounds a lot better. So let's copy over these hi-hats and let's see if we can come up with a bit of a different kick pattern on the second half. I'm gonna make the hi-hat a little bit quieter as well. And let's try pitching this kick up 12 semitones, which is gonna make it shorter. And I'm looking to see what would work for this pattern. See, that kind of works. So, I have another hi-hat here. Let's bring that in. I think that's the same hi-hat I'm already using. I should use this one. So, this one is a bit shorter. And I think I want to make this one really high pass, so we'll just add a little high pass. And let's go to the open hi-hat. I'm gonna put that on the third hi-hat track, and I wanna make this one, I think I wanna have it right there on the end, so let's do this one on the offbeat and probably make it a bit quieter. So let's put the percussion right here, and I'm gonna put this percussion hit right on the third beat. Let's see how that sounds. Let's take the next percussion sound, and I might want to do that right before the snare there. So let's see how that sounds. See, that kind of works as well, but it's a little bit of an awkward sound. I'm thinking what would work best here. That kind of works, so let's just keep it right there. I might want to make it a bit shorter though, because it's quite long. That's better. Next up, what do we have here? We've got another percussion sound. We can put that maybe on one of these tracks as well. Let's see how that sounds. Oh, that's the wrong track. So let's put in the drum fill now. I'm gonna put the drum fill right here. Let's see how that sounds. Now this drum fill, is this in triplets? It actually is. So it aligns perfectly well to the triplet grid. Now, the cymbals, I should maybe want to put the crash right on the start there. And let's make that a little bit high-passed. Now it's also quite on the right side, so I'm gonna bring this a little bit more to the left. And we can do maybe the right on here as well. And let's just do a 1/4 kind of pattern with the right, adding a little bit of high passing to it. And now the thing is, if we group the hi-hats, we can actually take them out completely to see how it sounds without the hi-hats, and this will probably give it a little bit more of a thing that you would use in the intro of the track or in the first half of the drop, and then in the second half you bring the hi-hats in to give that more up-tempo kind of thing. So without it, and the other thing now is, because we're using a triplet grid and we are not using the hi-hats, we can now actually do stuff like, let's see. Let's see if we want to use that percussion sound right here. I can put this like, do stuff like that, you know, it's some weird stuff actually, but it sounds pretty nice. And we could even do something like this. And even now, if you go in here and let's say, we can offset this even more, and that's probably gonna give it the best amount of groove. Just hold the Alt key and just slightly offset these things so that they're even more different, you know? That's pretty much what you want to do. So you really want to spend some time on where you place your drums, and if they're slightly off grid, that's not really an issue. So let's see, we can move these ones off grid as well, and maybe move this percussion hit a little bit back. We can do the same thing here, maybe put them slightly off grid. Not so much though, so just a little bit. So that was it. There you have it. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, then please comment, like, and subscribe. You can leave a comment about one of your questions and I'll try to answer them in the comments. Also, if you want to be part of a music production community, then please check out the link in the description below this video. There's an invite into my Discord server, and there we talk about music production every single day. And it would mean a lot if I can see all you guys coming over there. If you are interested in private lessons, I'm going to start doing private lessons soon, and you can hit me up on my email address that's in the description below this video. Send me an email to that email address and let me know what you want to learn something about, and I'll develop a set of lessons specific to you, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Other than that, I'm going to be doing a lot more tutorials this year, and if you want to stay up to date with them, then please click the subscribe button below, and if you do, it would mean a lot if you can click the little bell icon as well, so that you get notified whenever I post a video, or when I start doing a live stream. I do live streams every Friday, 8 PM Central European Time on this YouTube channel and also on my Twitch. You can find the links to all my social media profiles in the description below this video as well. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned something, and I would like to see you back in the next tutorial. Peace!